everybody. I am John Reguzzoni, and I live here in Florida in Pompano Beach. Um, I have a vision for my life, which is really more about doing things that I like to do and being involved in activities that are the most fun for me. So I like to be outside and I like to do things like fishing and scuba diving and things like that. So I'm a pretty avid scuba diver. I love scuba diving. So, scuba diving has been sort of the basis of my interest in all kinds of things throughout my life, like uh, subjects that I studied in school and so forth. So, um, every year I like to go scuba diving and catch lobster. So that's something that's a fun fact about me. I've been teaching at Broward College for about 5 years, and I would get emails occasionally from the BCX, and I didn't know what it was and everything like that. And I kind of said, I just kind of looked at it real quickly and then um, erased them basically. And one day I was decided to read through one or two of them, and I saw that it was about financial wellness and how it might help me to get my financial goals met, which in some ways I'm doing, and in other ways I needed some help. So I thought it might be interesting because I've been thinking about starting a business, and I really don't have any money. So, uh, so I'd like to be able to try to do something in a sense that build up some sort of a fund for a business, and that's kind of what got me interested in doing or being involved in the Financial Wellness Institute. So, I've always been okay with money. The problem with me is that I would have um, the way I grew up, and of course a little older than most people here, and I'm pretty close to retirement. Within 10 or 15 years. So, um, my point of view may be a little different than some of you because if you're really starting out and you're just discovering how to deal with money, you're probably going to be a lot better off. So it's really no one's fault, but when I grew up, the way that you thought about money was basically you work hard, you make money, you put it in the bank, and then when you're old enough, you retire and you spend the money. Okay, that was the basic plan. So some of this, a lot of what we learned here in this class, really is how do you get around that? How do you um, take care of yourself and not spend the money that you made that you worked hard for and make money by using the money that you made. So once you make some money, then you can use that money to make more money. And that wasn't really um, a way of thinking that I was grew up with. So once I started the class, I was really excited by the instructors. They're very animated and very informed. So, getting their information from them was something that was very, they were very trustworthy to me. So I could count on them to be honest and to be straightforward as well as somewhat entertaining. So, the guest speakers and so forth were really good. Everyone had a lot of good information, and some classes we actually had too much information, and it was really a challenge in some cases to get through all that information or to retain it. So, but there are ways to get that information, like PowerPoints that they post and things like that. So, it's not really that difficult to review it again. But the activities that we did and the lectures were, I'd have to say, kind of long. So it's only a 6-week course, and that's okay. The 6-week course is, I guess, it's okay. In a way, it's difficult because it's 3 hours every Wednesday night, and it's right at 5 o'clock. So if you're working, it's difficult to get there right at 5. And they weren't really that. strict about not being there on time and so on. So that was a benefit. But having 3 hours of a class is a little difficult. It's manageable, but it takes some sort of getting used to, and it's just it just seems like if you're working all day and then you have to do it for 3 hours, it seems like a long day, but which it is. But again, it's only 6 weeks, so it ends up being rather, you know, manageable. Okay, so all the other kind of doing it online also helps because you have um, the option of kind of, like I did. I would turn on my phone when I left work and try to log in, and hopefully not get logged off while I was driving home. And then when I got home, I would, re-log in. So that's a benefit too, because you can kind of do that if you have the right. Most people nowadays, of course, have the right kind of um, uh, devices, right? So, and I think the biggest thing that the benefits of the Financial Wellness Institute is that they can give you some ideas about how to deal with money that are up to date, as I said with my experience. So, up to date in the sense that what you can do with your money to save for retirement and still be comfortable on the way. You know, um, now, it, you know, the big picture for me is really about if I would have had some of these vehicles, which probably didn't exist when I was younger, but things like IRAs and 401ks and things like that didn't really exist. But um, after going through the class, basically the big picture would be if I was younger, or even now. I mean, I still have time, but is what I kind of said in the beginning. You can make money and then use that money to make more money. So you don't have to work your whole life and then just spend what you made. That's kind of the biggest takeaway of what I got out of this class, because it's really insightful in, you know, how am I going to, you know, how am I going to live my life? How am I going to retire if I don't save enough money that I can spend it all once I retire? That's not how you have to think. So, teaching about the different vehicles and the different strategies for thinking about money, really very informative, very helpful. Okay. If you have an open mind, there's a lot there that you can take away. So, um, I'm using some of this strategy and some of the ways or I guess they're like vehicles or whatever that they taught us how to use. For me, at this point in my life, it's more about investing in kind of stock markets and things like that for retirement. So I've been saving all my life as far as every job I've had a 401k, so I always contributed the maximum amount, and I always contributed, um, the not the maximum amount, but yeah, the maximum amount usually, and I always got if the company was giving a matching dollars, that was always a benefit because you would basically get free money. So, but I had that money just kind of sitting in mutual funds, and now I have it in places where it's actually paying me back. It's paying me dividends. What one of the things we learned in the class is to use the stocks to get dividends. So um, I'm getting the benefit from that. So that's really beneficial. Okay, so I'm going to go long here, but I'm going to try to stop. I think I've answered most of the things I need to talk about. I would like to see this class um, in all the different semesters of Broward College, because it's great for young people. If they are an open-minded young person and they hear about these kind of things, they should have a chance to really be exposed to this type of material so that their lives will be so much better when they get older. Okay. And so And I think the instructors, again, the instructors were great. Omar, he's great. He's so energetic and so affable, you know. And Steve also is, kind of the straight guy, but he's got a lot of good information. And then all the technical people there were great. So it's a great class to take, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it makes you money. Okay, bye now.